So I am from rural northern New Jersey, and you may think that that's an oxymoron, but it does actually exist. And my parents were from the greatest generation. My dad was in World War II, and he met my mom on a bus commuting into Newark, New Jersey. And they went on to have 9 children. And my mom was Italian, my dad was Irish, and of course they were Catholic. So when we were growing up, my mom first had 4 kids, and then she had what she referred to as blessings in disguise with additional children. And then after having 6 kids, she had twins, and I was one of the twins. I was number 8 out of 9. My brother, who's my twin, beat me by 5 minutes. And I also had another brother who was only 13 months younger. And when we grew up, we were blessed where they had the financial resources to have a home, and we had a bedroom for every single person. But the 3 of us, we all stayed in the same bedroom. And my twin and I slept head to toe on a twin bed because we thought it's a twin bed and that's what we're supposed to do. So on Saturday mornings, my parents liked to sleep in. And they had a containment strategy to lock us into the room where they reversed the lock on the door. And one Saturday morning, my brother and I woke up at the crack of dawn, and we discovered how to pick the lock. And we got out, and there was a rumor in my house that my oldest brother, who was in college, had candy under his bed. So we went to his bedroom. It was really dark. So we lit a candle. And under the bed, there's this fabric. And we learned that that fabric is very flammable. And the bed lit on fire. So I thought to myself, let me go down and get a garden hose and try to put out the fire. But then that wasn't going to happen. So I did what most kids do, and I hid in a closet in our home. So luckily, no one was hurt, and the firemen came and rescued me out of the closet, and my brother, who was younger, was rescued out of a crib in that same room, and we were all, my twin and I were sitting in the back of my dad's Lincoln Continental with my mom, and she said, "Which one of you did this?" And before I could point to him, he pointed to me, and I got the blame. And my mom said, "This is going to cost us a lot of money." And I said, "Nickels and dimes don't burn," because that's what my mindset was. So we had a problem where we had to rebuild our house, and they needed to do something with me, and they shipped me off to Nantucket. So how did I end up on Nantucket? Well, my uncle was a Korean vet, and he came out of Korea. He started a restaurant in the Jersey Shore. And him and his Marine friend one time heard about this island called Nantucket, and they took a 16-foot Boston whaler, and they went from the Jersey Shore, stopped in Montauk, and landed on Nantucket. And that's when he decided he would have a family and live the rest of his life on Nantucket. So he and his wife had a bad RH factor with their blood, and for every time that my mom was pregnant and delivered a baby, they would have a stillborn. And they did have one child who was intellectually disabled, and she's still with us today, and she lives on Nantucket. But it was where my mom asked my uncle if she could have me for the summer. So as an 8-year-old, I went and spent the summer on Nantucket with my uncle. He was a carpenter and a fisherman, and I was kind of a surrogate son to him. And I would run around with his Ford F-150, and he had a dog named Lejeune. He was an ex-Marine. The Lejeune was named after Camp Lejeune, where he went to do basic training. And we would build houses and dredge for mussels, and he taught me how to shoot a gun, and he taught me how to surf cast. And at the end of every summer, because I spent 4 summers with him, it was always tough because, and we would have an argument. It's weird when you're close to someone and you're going to leave someone, you have an argument. And I would get 10 cents for every clam that I was able to harvest, and I said, this is not fair, I want 15 cents. And, that's kind of how we would end things on a summer. But every summer, at the end of the summer, he would say to me, Pat, go set the world on fire. And that's what I'm doing. Thank you.